Hi, Dr. Third Grade. Happy Monday. This is Miss Sophie, and I'm going to be going over your Day 6 Learning Virtual Packet. Today we're going to start with language arts. So it says complete homophone Day 6, fill in the blank. What's really important for this is you need to use the words from last week. So go back in your packet, use those words to help you. And then we're going to read a story called MVP and make a plot map. We're going to do a journal entry. And then we have some math and content activities to do. So let's get started. All right, so here's what I did. I want you to pay attention to how I have my words at the bottom from last week, just in case I get stuck. You can just go back in your packet and cross them out as you go if you want. If you don't need the words, don't use them, but I found it helpful to have a word bank. So remember, homophones are words that sound the same, but they have a different meaning. And you can use your flashcards from last week to help you. Each word will only be used once. In the winter, the trees are. When I thought about this, I'm like, well, in the winter, there's nothing on the trees. So the word that means nothing on would be bare, B-A-R-E. I am a vegetarian. I do not eat. Using background knowledge, I know that vegetarians do not eat meat. So that meat is spelled M-E-A-T, meat, not like you meet a friend, like meat the food. The girl is my daughter and the boy is my. So daughter and what are antonyms? Think about that. So daughter and son are antonyms. Okay. The blank had finished hibernating and was looking for fish. So if I go to my list, obviously it has to be an animal. There's only a couple animals here. I have bear and a deer. Deers don't hibernate, okay, and they don't eat fish. So it would be bear, B-E-A-R. We went to the blank to ride the Ferris wheel. We went to the fair to ride the Ferris wheel, like a carnival. We got a trophy because we blank the game. Well, you get a trophy if you win, and one of our words is a won, W-O-N, not like the number, but you won something. It was hard to blank through the crowd, so I stood on a chair. If we're using context clues and someone has to stand on a chair through a crowd, they probably can't see. S-E-E, not like the ocean, like your eyeballs. You can see with your eyeballs. You will need 2 cups of blank for that recipe. Well, what on our list talks about food? The only thing on there really is flour, which you would use to bake with, F-L-O-U-R. I had 5 cookies. I ate blank cookies, and now I only have 1. I had 5, I ate blank, and now I only have 1. Okay, we know we're working with numbers here. There are 2 answers. Apologies for that. There are 2 answers for this one. You could either put 4, F-O-U-R, or you could put 2, T-W-O. So you choose. I will have lemonade, blank, iced tea, either one. So it's giving you a choice, so that helped me understand that or would work, O-R. Watching the stars at blank is one of my favorite things to do. Well, using context clues, the stars are only out at night, so it has to be nighttime. It's not like the night that protects something, it's the night time of day. The blank in the air was so thick that I became wet walking through it. Well, what talks about water on here? The only thing that talks about water is mist, which is a light rain. It's not like I missed you, it's mist. Ends with a T. So use that word bank to help you when you are doing this. Okay, now we're going to read a story called MVP, and then we're going to make a plot map. MVP, 8 o'clock. The red numbers on the clock showed that there was 1 quarter left in the game. In just 8 minutes, one team would win the 7th grade championship. The score was tied at 24. Our sweaty team huddled around Coach Sanchez. Pass it around and don't get boxed in, he warned. When you're open, shoot. We stuck our hands into the middle. Go Eagles. Back on the floor, Brandon had the ball. I was open, but he passed it to Cole. Cole had a great turnaround jump shot, but I was a good jump shot too. In fact, we each had 6 points so far, but Cole was more popular and the team fed him the ball. 7 o'clock. The Kings took possession of the ball and tied the score. Then Cole was fouled and sank his 2 free throws. That added 2 points to our team's score and to the score in my head. It shouldn't have mattered, but for once I wanted to outscore Cole. I wanted to show the team that I could be the MVP, most valuable player. The Kings dribbled down, but Jeff stole the ball and threw a long, hard pass to me. I saw Cole running toward the bucket, but no one was guarding me either. I dribbled in and shot. The ball switched through for 2. Cole slapped my hand. Good shot, Derek. Thanks, I said. I don't worry about whether or not I should have passed the ball. Cole had his fair share of chances. 6 o'clock. Or 6 minutes. I keep saying clock. Sorry, guys. 6 minutes. The score bounced back and forth. Eagles 30, Kings 32. Eagles 35, Kings 34. The score in my head kept bouncing too. Derek 8, Cole 10. Derek 12, Cole 11. 5 minutes left. I ran down the court, trying to guard my man. I jumped straight up as he shot, and my hand knocked the ball just enough to send it off the backboard. Cole got the rebound and dribbled down the court. He passed the ball to me and ran under the basket. I ignored him and shot, but the ball bounced off the rim. Cole was open, said Jeff. So was I muttered, but I felt rotten inside. Hey, it's no big deal, said Cole. We're all trying to win this game. We're a team. 4 minutes left. It happened fast. Cole was on the floor holding his ankle. His face twisted with pain. Coach Sanchez was there in a second. We'll put some ice on it, he said. You're done playing. Cole nodded. Then Coach helped him to the bench. Everybody cheered for Cole, and I felt my heart hammer in my ears. Now I was going to be the MVP without a doubt. 3 minutes left. We were up by 4. Brandon took the ball down and passed it to me. I jumped up to shoot from the side, but suddenly 2 King players were guarding me instead of 1. I lost the ball. The Kings dribbled down and passed the ball to one of their key players. Cole had held him just 4 points. Justin, Cole's substitute, couldn't move as fast, and the Kings player scored. You can do it, Cole shouted from the bench, but it didn't look good. Every time I got the ball, the Kings double-teamed me. They figured that with Cole gone, they could shoot me down and win. Cole had helped divide their attention before, and he'd guard one of their best shooters. I never thought about how much that helped my game. Now we're down by 1. Our school had a shot at its first championship, but time was running out. All of a sudden, more than anything, I wanted our team to take home the trophy. 2 minutes left. Time out, called Coach Sanchez, and we ran off the floor. We need points, guys, said Coach as we crowded around him. Get it to Brandon, I blurted out. They're leaving him open when they double-team me. Everyone looked at Brandon. He hardly ever shot. Give it a try, said Coach. 1 minute left. I took the ball down the court. 2 Kings boxed me in, 6 leaving Brandon wide open. I faked a shot and bounced past the ball to him. He caught it and hesitated. Shoot, I shouted. Brandon let it fly, right into the bucket. We won by 1 huge point as the buzzer sounded. The gym exploded with cheers. We were all jumping around when I spotted Cole on the bench. Hey, I said, great game. You too, said Cole, slapping my back. Great idea to pass it to Brandon. Congratulations on getting MVP. I'd been waiting a long time to hear those words, but they didn't seem so important now. Thanks, I said. It was a team effort, and I finally understood just what that meant. Friends, one thing I want to point out is there are a lot of multisyllabic words in this passage. That means multisyllable. So like just if I go back to the first, numbers. Let's see what else we got. Minutes. Championship. That's 4. Be careful when you read. Take it slow. Clap out sounds you don't know. Use your context clues to help you because there's a lot, and a lot of this requires background knowledge to understand how basketball works. You saw I started reading. I kept saying 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It actually was talking about the clock counting down in the game. So when I got halfway through, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm saying the wrong thing. And I addressed it. But without knowing the background knowledge, that could be hard. So just take it slow and be careful when you're reading. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make our plot map like we've been doing. So remember, we start with our characters. So I'm going to go back in my story and I'm going to find my characters. I'm going to get my highlighter out. You guys can do this at home. You can use a pencil. Doesn't matter what you use. Okay, we have Coach Sanchez. We have Brandon. We have Cole. Okay. We have the Kings, so that's the other team. Okay, and then we have Derek, which is our main character. And we have Jeff. And I think that's pretty much it. Yep. So there's a decent amount of characters in here. So we have Coach Sanchez, Brandon, Cole, the Kings, Derek, and Jeff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write those down. And I'm going to make this smaller for y'all so we know it will fit. Okay. So we have Derek, Brandon, Jeff, Coach, the Kings, Cole. Let's see if that was everyone. Kings, Derek, Cole, Sanchez, Brandon, and Jeff. Okay. And then the setting is probably in a gym. Basketball game. Okay. All right, our rising action is the clock is counting down. Clock is counting down at a basketball game. Okay, so they're talking about the back and forth. Derek gets a shot. And they're kind of like trying to outscore each other. And Cole gets hurt. Okay. Team is all taking their turns shooting. Okay. So Derek is talking about how he wants the ball. I'm going to go back and check that because there's a lot going on in the story. So he made a shot. They're kind of like competing against each other. And Derek and Cole have this like kind of little, they're not being very good teammates. So let's talk about that. Derek and Cole are not being very good teammates during the game. Cole ends up getting hurt. Okay, that's like the climax because he fell and he hurt his ankle. There it is. Twisted with Pain. Coach Sanchez was there in a second. We'll put some ice on it. You're done playing. And so Derek is trying to be the MVP. And Derek's talking about how it gets harder after that. Getting hurt. So Derek now wants to be the MVP, but the game gets harder. Derek now wants to be MVP, but the game gets harder. Falling action, coach says we got to get some points. At 2 minutes, coach says we have to get some points. And let's see who made that last shot. Okay, Brandon was wide open. Passed the ball to Brandon, let it fly right into the bucket. So Brandon made the winning shot. Derek passed the ball to Brandon, who made it. Okay. So he passed the ball to Brandon, who made it, and then the team understood teamwork since they all played a part in winning. So friends, what you could do is you could go back in and you can highlight where you found these things. This story has a little bit more detail than the ones that we have done in previous weeks. So take your time with it. And yours might look a little bit different than mine, but as long as you have the main things put into it, then you are fine. Remember our exposition or beginning, we talk about the characters and setting. The rising action is what's happening leading up to the big part of the story. The big part is where the problem happens or something eventful happens, and the following action is what happens after that, and then the resolution is like the solution or the ending. All right, for writing, it says write another journal entry that includes the date and how you feel. Now that you are learning at home, describe where you complete the work in your house. Who helps you and how you feel while you are working. Please keep your packet number for writing in a safe place because you will also be adding to them during this time. Keep the journal entries in your packet. So through the weeks, you can make your own at-home journal. So mine's gonna be a little bit different, and it's probably gonna be a little bit shorter than yours because I'm not learning at home, I'm teaching. I mean, I'm learning how to do new things, so maybe, I'm technically learning from home, but I'll tell you what I wrote. I'm gonna add to it a little bit. Teaching from home is very different than teaching at regular school. I miss teaching to faces in real time and interacting with my students. I miss seeing the look when y'all finally click when learning a new topic. I feel less busy because when I am teaching at school, I am constantly running around. My teammates and staff are very helpful to me with this new experience. So that's how I feel about teaching at home. The thing that I think is a little bit beneficial is it's quieter in my house than it is at school. So it's easier to focus, except for when my dogs are freaking out, but they've been pretty good lately. And the thing I miss is just being around everybody. I mean, it's hard, and being a teacher, when I went to school, I didn't think I would be teaching online. So it's different than what I prepared for. But that's how I feel about teaching at home. So I want you to write about how you feel about learning at home now that it's been this long of you doing it. Make sure you put the date. Today's date is May 4th, 2020. Now we are getting to my favorite part. So today we're going to talk about something called polygons. You should have learned some of the polygons in 2nd grade, but there's a couple more that we learned in 3rd grade, and this is just an introduction to it. Your packet says, you have learned already that triangles have 3 sides and 3 angles. You know that squares and rectangles have 4 sides and 4 angles. Shapes like these with straight sides are called polygons. They are named based on the number of sides and angles they have. So your job is to look around your house and search to find some of these polygons. Make a list of the ones you found and name them. Where were they located? So before I do anything, I'm going to go over this anchor chart that's in your packet. It's on the sides of this right here I'm talking about. So a polygon, all sides are straight. It's a closed shape. So that means there's not like a gap of an opening. There's no intersecting line. So it doesn't go like this, like it's one shape, all the lines eventually touch, and there's no curve. So a circle is not a polygon. A cylinder is not a polygon, but a triangle is a polygon. It's 3 straight lines. So tri is a prefix for 3. So the name is triangle, and then it shows you a picture of what it looks like. Quad is a prefix for 4. So quad means 4. Think about like a 4-wheeler. It has 4 wheels. It's a quad. Quadrilateral, that's a long one. Quadrilateral. Woo! Quadrilateral. It's 5. That's a lot of syllables. And that's what it looks like. So it's like squares, rectangles, rhombuses, things like that. Penta means 5. That's a prefix. So pentagon. It looks like a house or any other shape with straight lines that connect and have 5 sides. A hexagon has 6 sides, so the prefix is hexa, which means 6. So any shape with 6 sides that has no intersecting lines, no curves, straight lines, and it's closed. An octagon, think about a stop sign. It has 8 sides, and the prefix is octa, which means 8. Nona, which is 9, is a nonagon, so 9 sides. And those are wacky looking shapes, as you can see. And then deca means 10, so decagon, has 10 sides, and those are really difficult to draw. If you want a challenge, try to draw a decagon and follow the rules at the top. Now, friends, I love teaching polygons, and I'm sad that I can't be in person to teach it, but last year we found an awesome video that I'm going to play for you that really helps, and it's catchy, and I will send it to your parents too so they can play it for you later. But I'm going to share it with you, and it will help you remember what the polygons are, and it will make your task a little bit easier. So let's put up my video. There it is. Okay, and I'm going to hide myself and just let you listen.
Is a prefix, that means 3. Triangles have 3 sides like the sail on the sea. Quad, a prefix, that means 4. Quadrilaterals have 4 sides like a door. Penta is a prefix, that means 5. Pentagons have 5 sides like a school's oval walk sign. Hexa, a prefix, that means 6. Hexagons have 6 sides like a bolt we twist.
Tri means 3 and quad means 4. Penta means 5 and hexa means 6.
Hepta is a prefix that means 7. Heptagons have 7 sides like Orion in the heavens. Octa is a prefix that means 8. Octagons have 8 sides like a stop sign shape. Nona is a prefix that means 9. Nonagons have 9 sides like a Y on a road sign. Deca, a prefix that means 10. Decagons have 10 sides like a starfish in the ocean.
Hepta means 7. Octa means 8. Nona means 9 and deca means 10.
Try, right, 3. Quad, 4. Hexa, hecta, 5. Hexa, hecta, 6. Hepta, hepta, 10. Octa, octa, 8. Nona, 9. Deca, deca, 10.
Tri means 3, quad means 4, penta means 5, and hexa means 6. Hepta means 7, octa means 8, nona means 9, and deca means 10. Tri means 3, quad means 4, penta means 5, and hexa means 6. Hepta means 7, octa means 8, nona means 9, and deca means 10. What shape is this?
Triangle.
What shape is this?
Quadrilateral.
What shape is this?
Hexagon.
What shape is this?
Hexagon.
What shape is this?
Heptagon.
What shape is this?
Octagon.
What shape is this?
Nonagon.
What shape is this?
Decagon.
Tri means 3, quad means 4, penta means 5, and hexa means 6. Hepta means 7, octa means 8, nona means 9, and deca means 10. Tri means 3, quad means 4, penta means 5, and hexa means 6. Hepta means 7, octa means 8, nona means 9, and deca means 10.
2 last things before we go. A polygon has to have straight sides, you know, and a polygon has to be a close shape. The vertices and sides can't have any breaks. So is this a polygon? No. But is this a polygon?
Yeah.
3 sides like the same.
All right, so I'm going to share that video with your parents because it's catchy. If we were at school, we would be singing it together. So unfortunately, we can't do that, but we have that video. So when I was doing this, I had a hard time finding all the polygons in my house. I only found a couple. So you might find the same problem. Here was a rectangle. So it's just a box, okay? It's a polygon, it has straight sides, it doesn't curve, all the sides connect. The bottom of this plant is a square, 4 sides, or a quadrilateral. This container is a square, okay? Like I said, that's about it for what I found. I noticed that in my kitchen, I have a lot of circular things. So it was kind of hard to find the things, but just think about your house. I mean, the stop sign on the end of my street is an octagon. Triangles, you can have like cookie cutters that are in the shape of a triangle, and other things. So just think about what you have and make a list. It's okay if your list is not that long. Try to find at least 4 things would be my challenge to you. All right, we're almost done. Okay, content. Read to learn water sources. Where does water come from? And answer the question. So I have water sources here. And this is a page in the back of your packet, so make sure you look for it. It says, all life needs clean, fresh water to survive. You can go days without food, but not without water. If you don't get the water you need, your body dehydrates. That's a big word, dehydrates. You can't live very long without water. I want to break that word up. So dehydrate. D is a prefix. Hydrate means water. So D means kind of like not, so not enough water. So if you're dehydrated, it's not good for you. 97% of the water on Earth is the ocean. Is in the ocean. The salt in the ocean water makes it unusable. 3% of the water on Earth is fresh water, but 2% is frozen in the ice caps and glaciers. This leaves 1% of the water on Earth available for us to use. What does the gray part represent on this pie chart? So the dark gray part, I was going to say it's all gray. The dark gray is salt water. Use the key to help you. And the light gray is fresh water. So look at the difference. We really don't have a whole lot of fresh water on Earth. Okay. 97% of the Earth's water is what's more. Obviously, look at the percentage. It's salt water. And then 3% is fresh water. That's crazy. How much more salt water is there on Earth than fresh water? Okay. Math problem. 97 minus 3. 97 minus 3. Let's move this over a little bit. Okay. When I do 97 minus 3, I don't have to regroup at all. Just trying to make it big enough for y'all. Okay. 7 is bigger than 3, so I can do that problem. 7 minus 3 is 4. And 9 minus 0 is 9. So 94% of the water, there's 95% more salt water on Earth than there is fresh water. Science requires math as well, so be mindful of that. One thing we can't change is where it will rain. The amount of rain an area gets affects the amount of water available for use. Some major cities are located in areas where they can get water from the ground. They dig wells to provide water for their citizens. Other areas use surface water from lakes, rivers, or streams. They may build dams to contain the water in a reservoir. Other places don't have enough water to use. These areas must pipe water in from far away. No matter where we live, we must be careful with the water we have in our part of the world. Name 7 places where we can find fresh water. Friends, this picture is really hard to see. I'm struggling with it. Sorry, it's so blurry on my screen. I'm going to pull it up for myself in a different document real quick so I can read it. That's really tricky. Oh, it's even hard on there. Wow. Okay. We're just going to do a couple. I have glaciers. I have canals. I have lakes. Glaciers. Canals. Lakes. Streams. There's 4. Really hard to find. You can find fresh water underground. And rainwater is fresh water as well. Okay, those are a couple. That picture is very difficult to see. I apologize for that. But just think about where we can get fresh water. If you cannot drink from the ocean, where else can we get water from that is considered fresh and not salt water? All right, friends, that is all for today. Be careful when you read this. There's a lot more vocabulary and multisyllabic words. If you want to learn more about this, the words are bolded. You can look them up and find out some more information, especially about like reservoirs and lakes and things like that. So you can look things up to find out more information. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will be seeing you later this week. Bye.